Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Single Guy's Kitchen. Today I'm going to make a dish that is very traditional in Cuban cuisine, and that is Ropa Vieja, shredded beef. I hope you enjoy it. Let's check it out. The first thing I'm going to show you is the beef. So the beef has to be cooked in a pressure cooker until it's nice and tender. Because once it's cooked, we're going to actually shred it by hand. So this cut of beef is called beef pectoral or falda. And once you cook it in the pressure cooker, it just shreds apart very easily by hand. So that's why we call it ropa vieja, which literally means old clothes that are shredded or torn. And so we call it ropa vieja because it shreds very easily into small fibers. And so first thing we're going to do is cook it in the pressure cooker. So let's get to that. Okay, so here are the ingredients that we're going to use today. Obviously the beef right here. Then we have a half a cup of tomato sauce. Then we have 1/8 of a cup of dry cooking wine, which again, I've talked about this before for those of you that don't know what white cooking wine is, or you don't have it in the part of the country where you live. I also have a half a cup of red wine. I'm using a Merlot this time just because. Then I have 1 teaspoon of oregano. I have 1 teaspoon of cumin. I have a couple of bay leaves and 3 cloves of garlic. And lastly, a whole onion, because this is an important part of this dish, onions. So there's also some variations. I have seen people use or add olives to the shredded beef. You can, you cannot, it doesn't matter. Again, you know, it's up to what you want to put. I've even seen people put capers in the shredded beef. So the purists out there will say, well, you know, you don't add capers to ropa vieja or olives. But, you know, whatever people want to add, I'm giving you the basic recipe. Some people, again, like to add other things, and that's up to the individual. So the first thing we're going to do is going to cook the beef in the pressure cooker. So I'm gonna take out the beef. I'm going to cut it in a few pieces. Okay. So once it's cut in pieces, we're going to put it in the pressure cooker. And we're going to give it about 30 minutes. Okay, and then we just wait until it's nice and tender to continue with the dish. So the first thing I'm going to add is a little bit of oil, and once I do that, I'm going to add my onions. Okay, and I'm going to cook my onions until they are soft and tender. Take a couple of minutes to do that, and then I'm gonna continue to add all of them. The last thing I'm gonna add to the base seasoning will be the wines, because I want to add that once I have the meat in the pan. So that's the last thing I'm gonna add, but for now I'm gonna cook the onions and wait till the onions are ready. Okay, so I'm ready now to continue adding the ingredients. So one thing I didn't mention at the beginning was bell peppers, and I always like to add a little bit of bell pepper. This time I'm gonna use red bell pepper, so I'm gonna add a few chunks of bell pepper to the onions, and then I'm going to add in my tomato sauce. Okay. my cumin, my oregano, and a couple of bay leaves. And I'm gonna cook this for a couple of minutes while I get the meat to add it to the seasoning. Okay, so now that I have the meat all cooked, we're going to now do the shredding. And this you do by hand because there's no other way to do this, okay? So we're going to shred the meat as best we can. Okay, so now we have our beef and it's all shredded pretty good. I can still shred a little bit more. And now we're ready to add it to our base seasoning. And here we go. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is the red wine and the dry cooking wine. I'm going to lower this to medium and I'm going to cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes until the meat absorbs all that flavor. And then we're ready to eat it. Okay, so we are now ready to serve our Ropa Vieja. Okay. So there it is. Ropa Vieja, Cuban style, shredded beef. I hope you enjoyed this. So I hope you enjoy watching this video. I hope you make it at home, and when you do, let me know how it came out in the comments. Also let me know what you did different, because that's always interesting to me. If you have any questions about anything about ingredients, brands of things I use, do let me know in the comments and I'll be more than glad to answer you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me. Also hit like and hit the notification bell so that you stay up to date on my new and upcoming videos. Thank you so much and I'll see you in the next video.